Hey friends, welcome back. Just a quick little update video here. I'm shooting this on my phone in my garage in Ohio. It is a beautiful day in May here. Got the old tour van in my driveway. Right now I'm mixing the support band that is out for a 2-week run with a band called Crowded House, who are amazing and very, very cool and have about the nicest crew I've ever worked with in the history of my life. So if any of the Crowded House crew humans are watching, you guys are rocking. So I had to make an unscheduled tour stop home because my console died. So this is a brand new Midas M32C that I bought specifically for this run. So as you all know, I'm a very huge Midas fanboy, and I've used the C-rigs for years, and this was my first time with the M32R control surface because we're doing theaters on this tour with a few sheds. So, you know, as much as I love the iPad system, I called a couple of friends of mine, and I'm like, what do you think about mixing these big venues with an iPad? And they're like, you're crazy. Don't do that. Get a control surface. So I did. And I figured, you know, I'll buy this for this tour, and I'll sell it at the end. So, you know, you can see I've still got the all the protective plastic on this thing. It's brand new. I fired it up for a rough program and just did a couple of different things on it. Did one production rehearsal, and it worked fine. And we left from the production rehearsal to our first gig in Minneapolis from Ohio, and I couldn't get AES sync on this. So our sound company is actually Claire for this run. They spec'd me a non-shielded ethercon between stage and front of house. So, you know, I know what you're all thinking. It's got to be a shielded cable, right? There's little plastic covers on all of the AES 50 inputs on this that basically say you have to use a shielded cable or die, right? So obviously that didn't work. I called a friend of mine in Chicago. Shout out to Brent at Technotrix. I texted him at midnight on a Sunday, and he had a 300-foot shielded ethercon cable for me by 10 a.m. on Monday morning. So if you guys are looking for a sound company in Chicago, I certainly can't recommend Technotrix enough. Those guys are amazing. So here's my fancy LM case that I have for this thing. I think my case probably cost more than the console. So what I've been doing on my last two dates, we did the Chicago Theater and we did the State Theater in Minneapolis. I've just been setting up my basic paperweight here and just been using it for its network capabilities. So I need to take all of the networking components out of this case and just put them in a little rack. So I think what I'm going to do to finish the rest of the run, because we still have another 2 weeks of shows with them, then I'm just going to mix it from the C, which was my backup rig. So I figured before I take all this stuff apart, I'd give you, you know, a little audio blogger video of the rig and everything. So I'm literally in my garage, so you can hear my neighbor yelling at her dog and all kinds of stuff. That's funny. Let's take a look at the rig here. So the case I designed to be really self-contained. There's a monitor arm up there, and you know, if you wanted to see the video, I did make a video of configuring this case. So check the link in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You can check that out. So basically, this is all locking power and stuff back here. This lets me just be as self-contained as possible. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab all the networking components out of here, so the switch, the router, and the access point, and just put it in a little 3-space rack, which is going to save us some space in the van here because we're touring with 7 people, full backline in a basic audio control package with luggage and our lovely Ford Transit van right here. It was supposed to come with the trailer, but apparently you can't put a trailer on the back of a Ford Transit van. So anyway, here's the rig here. So this was supposed to be my redundant system with the C in there. Thank God I had that because it absolutely saved my life. So we're running a DL32 stage box. And I don't know if you guys do this or not, but when I am the audio engineer on a gig, I'll take my my input list and laminate it, and I usually just keep it right on top of the rack there. And then I fill it out just like this, so that when the stagehands are patching the stage, they can just have a quick reference as they're plugging stuff in. And then I also have a stack of, I always just keep a big stack of these printed, so if people want to take them with them. So here's how I do my my input lists. Going down, so there's 2 racks with this. These are obviously LM Cases products. These are Pelican 1620s. With 4-space racks in them. This is something you can buy just from our web store if you want to check those out, lmcasesonline.com. So I'm rolling with 1 channel of wireless mic. This is a QLX D4. This is just so that I can talk to the band. So I just keep this with me at front of house for rigs or for gigs that I'm only using the C on. So if I need to talk to the band, I can do that. So it doesn't have to be anything that's crazy expensive. I will keep a channel of PSM 300 in my rack because that's mine. So if I'm mixing a gig on the C, I can use that to solo things, or if anybody in the band's ears fail for whatever reason, it's just there for redundancy. So the middle U here, these are the band's ears. We're running 2 mixes with this band, which is actually kind of cool. I'm sure you're probably thinking, man, that's kind of lame, but we basically have a drum and bass mix, and then what I call a rhythm mix and a melody mix. So the rhythm mix is drums and bass. The melody mix is lead singer who also plays guitar and 2 keyboard players. So with this band, 2 of them are engineers. They're mixing engineers, and the drummer is actually a mastering engineer. So they are all audio engineers. So their stage sound is excellent. And they play really well, and they make my job of mixing them easy. Oh, and the name of that band is called Spirit of the Bear, which if you're looking for some new tunes, check them out because they're really awesome. So the bottom space in this rack is just our LM Tour Systems D1 power distro here. So that's going. I had an old PowerCon in the shop, and I built a cable, and it's already fraying, so I got to replace that with a new PowerCon. So I'm feeding the in-ear transmitters here with a radial catapults. So I just leave the TRS catapult in the back of the rack, and then I just connect to the stage box here. So that's just my system. So since I'm reconfiguring, I just want to basically just put everything back together and just make sure that it all works, because we've had very, very consistent packs. So I'm carrying these 2 Pelicans, the console case, which is going away and getting replaced with a little 3-space rack. And then I've also just got this Pelican 1600 here that just has some support stuff that I take with me to front of house, which I'm also going to really lighten the load. So here's the iPad that I've been mixing the show on the past couple of days. And then, so on my console case, everything is together with locking IECs that are summed into a PowerCon or a True 1 input. So here's my True 1 cable. I've got a True 1 extension cord here, just in case my run isn't long enough, but they've been giving me L2130 breakouts just for me at front of house, which is crazy. It's tons of power. I've had that the last 2 nights. These are a pair of AKG 451s. I've been multi-tracking each show, so I've just wanted to have those for audience mics, and I haven't got to set them up over the last couple of nights. I've got my LM Tour Systems pendant power supply, or as I like to call it, the world's most expensive phone charger. So if you want to check that out, there's a video on me building this thing. So this is a Leviton box. It's got USB A and C on it and 2 outlets. So I've been using this like crazy. As a matter of fact, I gave it to the lighting guy to charge his phone the other night. I also have this RAM mounts laptop thing, so this is going because I don't have a console case anymore. I've got my other radial catapults just in case I need to use anything for turnarounds. This is my in-ear transmitter. I've got some other cables in here just as backups to feed the in-ear mixes, and I have my little iPad stand. And I am carrying a lot of EtherCon with me, which I'm certainly glad that I did, because I've used all of these backup cables. So everything that I packed in my case that I'm like, man, I'm never going to use this, I needed. So I've got my purple sound tools, cat cable, and I'm also, I didn't have enough turnarounds, so I had to grab some Cat 6s off of my cart just to use as turnarounds. And I've got a LM Tour Systems tactical Ethercon with RJs and Pro Shells on the other end. And then I've got another one that is just a Cat 6 here with a Pro Shell on it. So I'm going to build a network rack, and then I will check in with you guys and show you what I ended up coming up with. And I have a funny story to share with you when the network rack is built. So stand by for that. All right, so we've got the network rack all finished up. Sorry for the echo again. I'm doing this in my garage. My neighbor's cutting his grass. He's got a push mower, and he's been stopping every 2 or 3 passes on his lawn to text, which is just infuriating. So I figured I would close up the garage door and get this video finished up so I can pack the van and I can hang with Gina, because not only have I taken over our garage, this is an unscheduled break, so I'd like to hang with her for a couple of days. So anyway, or for a couple of hours. So anyway, here's the rack. These are all the components that were in the console case. So that's my little Luxol router there. I've got my PoE switch, and then I just added one of those, my favorite Triplite RS1215. So this rack is gonna live at front of house with me. So I actually just texted the production manager for the tour and just said, hey, run that Ethernet line for me. I'm going to be using that when we're together in Nashville. So this is it. So instead of having my console case that's sitting there sad, I've replaced it with this little 3-space rack, which is hilariously overkill, or as I would like to say, the appropriate amount of kill for the router and the switch there. So I'm going to keep this at front of house with me, and I'm going to just mix over my access point right there. I have a little bit of config. I actually called my friend Mike, who you may remember from my rent pit video. If you missed that, check the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And he suggested that I turn off the 5 gigahertz network on the access point. And he gave me just a couple of little things, settings to keep in mind for that. I told him what I was up to and just said, hey, I'm doing this right? So yeah, this is our rack, and this is the rig. So it went from the couple of Pelican cases down to, we got to take one thing out. So when I'm done with the video, I'll show you the pack of the van, because it's so tight, it's hilarious. So, all right, as promised, funny story time. So since my neighbor's cutting the grass, I figured I'd take you into my living room and give you the funny story, and maybe we'll get appearance by Fred the cat, who's a sweet little boy. So I bought the console about a month and a half ago from a very popular big box retailer who is wonderful people. I had not one bad thing to say about them, although they did make me laugh out loud in a point of a bit of stress this morning. So I called them and said, here's the problem with my console. I need to replace this. What can you do for me? Can I order one? They're about a 1-day ship from me. And I said, can I get one tomorrow? And they said, yes, of course. We have many in stock. We just have to give you, you just have to talk to our tech support department. And I said, sure, no problem. I said, I'm sure I'm probably doing something dumb. I would love nothing more than I just have an option box or something checked. And that's the problem with it. So I talked to the tech support, or I should say I have some box checked or something wrong. I'm setting the clock to the wrong source or something like that. And, somebody who actually knows what they're doing with the control surface can just say, hey, just check this box, and it'll all come to life and everything is good, right? So I talked to I talked to the customer service person, and we're going back and forth and telling him everything that I'm doing. And he goes, yeah, that seems right. That seems right. He said, so he sent me an email, and he said, or he told me on the phone, he said, I found a couple of videos on YouTube where there's some people that have solved a sync issue. Check this out. If this doesn't help you, I'll send you another console. So I got the link that he sent me, and it was to one of my videos. So it is nice to know that people are watching my videos. So thank you for that. So I did send him an email and said, hey, bud, check and see who the creator of that video was. And he wrote me back and said, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. So we had a good laugh about that this morning. I figured you guys would enjoy that. So, I guess this is also my way of saying I appreciate you guys watching these videos. They're really fun for me to make. It's a nice way to get to know a lot of you and communicate with you. So again, I certainly mean absolutely no shade to that company. They've been absolutely wonderful. Obviously, I'm not mentioning their name. We have a long relationship with them. They're amazing. They've jumped through a million hoops for me, but just thought that was funny that in my tech support manager's eagerness to solve my problem, that he sent me my own video. So that's where I'm at with that. Anyway, I'll leave you. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you want to follow this tour, I hate to say follow me on Instagram, but follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, BillyLaGuardia.wave, WAV, BillyLaGuardia.wav. If you wanna follow, I'm posting some videos just of us going around. Again, the band I'm with is Spirit of the Bear, and this tour we are opening for Crowded House. So if you have Crowded House is coming to a city near you, come by. I'd love to meet you. Anyway, I'll show you a quick picture of the van when it's all packed up. Do you see how sardined we are in there? But anyway, appreciate you guys. Thanks. Bye. Freddie, what do you think? We got everything in the van, huh? You want to tell everybody thanks for watching?
Good boy.
Hey, Fred. You want to tell everybody thanks for watching? Well, thanks for watching. We'll leave you on Fred the cat. See you guys later.